Hi guys, all right, welcome back. We've got an interesting one today. We have an Axis Virus Classic, um, which are definitely, on the rare side when it comes to viruses. This is the first one I've ever actually seen in person, and so I'm pretty excited about that part of it. Um, it's got some interesting issues. The seller basically said, I have no idea if it works. This is what it does. I don't know how to test it. Good luck. I said, all right, well, let me see what's going on. I'll take a swing at it. So let's just go ahead and boot it up and show you what's going on with it. Um, so the screen's kind of effed. And it's the battery needs to be swapped. The battery's dead, so it's gonna say, "Hey, I need to load factory sounds. Are you sure? I need to load multis. Are you sure? Okay, great." And then I'm gonna boot up, and from there, this is typical behavior. Everything's nice and fast. Everything looks good. Our tax work, but something's up with the screen, of course. And then, of course, I guess the big question is, it doesn't even make noise. I have no idea, so let's find out. Um, I think it probably does make noise, but let's see. So it works fine. So I think what's going on, well, I'm going to go ahead and swap the battery. And then as far as the screen goes, we'll give it a go and see what we can figure out here. It's never been opened up, so no wonder the battery's dead. It's not a surprise. It honestly looks like this thing sat somewhere for a long time. So I'll be very careful, but I just want to get that snipped. And these are black bottom screws, which is unique. Usually they're silver, but maybe in the classic they're black. So the first thing we're going to do is put in a new battery, because that's just obviously needs to happen. So let's get out a magnifying glass and I just want to look around and see what's going on. I really want to look at the screen connector. I think it's either this or something going on over here. Let's make sure our battery fix works. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm 100% sure that that worked, but we'll find out. It's gonna boot up again with those problems. We know that. It should boot up normally now. I hope so. Yeah. Okay. So no RAM issues. We just have a screen situation here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the main board out because I want to see what's going on with that. I'm gonna say like probably 20% chance that we've resolved our issues. Yeah, we did not. So something's wrong with either the screen or who knows. I mean, the good news is, of course, it turns on. But the screen's definitely having a bad day here. This is from a KC that, yeah, the pinouts, I'm sure is the same. Let's see if we get. Let's just see what we get. It's a bad screen. You can see that right there. I mean, it might be cool to put this screen in here. Looks pretty cool, red on black like that, to be honest. I don't know how well it matches the red of the classic. All right, so we're back with our Virus Classic here, and our part came in from Mouser, so that's pretty exciting. Always love a bit of suspense, and I'm really curious to see if this screen is going to fit in the very precise hole that has been crafted for it. Now, this was really tricky. I spent a lot of time doing my research on this, and nothing matched the virus spec exactly. They're all way too long, or too not tall enough, or the pinout's wrong, or it was missing a backlight, or there's just 1,000 different reasons why it wasn't right. And I did measurements all day long with my set of calipers, and anyway, long story short, we're gonna see where the rubber meets the road here. I'll just keep it on a piece of wood. I like to do that. I also had to find one with a black bezel, which was really quite kind of tough, to be honest. So we're going to put these two side by side and see what we've got. They are so close. This just got like an extra housing on the frame. It looks like the actual screen, the actual viewable area is the same, and it's just that the housing on this one on the right, the original one, is a little bit larger. But as far as actual size goes, they're identical. So it's the same pinout. It really looks good. I'm just gonna drop it in and see how the holes line up. I might have to do a little drilling on these holes. And I can see that I'm definitely gonna have to do some drilling on the holes. They're just not quite large enough. But they're in the right spot. There we go. Okay. So let's just take a look at it from this side now and see what we've got. Nice centered black. That's gonna work for me. So this cable is 16 pins. It was glued into place on this side and on this side with a strip of hot glue just to help it stay in place. I removed that, so now we just need to solder and get this part out. And the thing we just need to remember is that the notch side is down. So let's put this, we're going to just write on this. This is going to be the top. And that's the one, that's the side we want to have when we're soldering into this new part. So how do we get this out? Well, this screen is total ass, so I kind of don't really care about it very much. Still, how the hell do you get this thing out? I would normally cut all the pins and then just bury this solder and do it that way, but I need the pins. I need to get them into that board. So I'm just going to bury this whole thing in solder and try to flow all 16 at once and get it out. I don't know of another way to do it, to be honest with you. So yeah, all these pins here, all 16, maybe you can see them better here. All 16 of these, I'm just going to bury them in one giant blob of solder and flow back and forth, and maybe I can get half out and the other half out and the middle out or something. I've never done a solder job like this, so I really don't know. This has not gone well. Good E for effort, good idea, but it just failed in the end. Some of the pins just didn't survive. I don't think. Yeah, I can see one that didn't survive. One pin did not survive. All the rest did. So I'm gonna have to just kind of dig into this and get some metal showing on this other pin. So you can see I got 15 pins. Lost one. Fatality. Next time if I do this, I'll go slow. I always forget, just like you gotta go slow, especially when you're desoldering. You go fast and you're like, yeah, I just want to get it out. And you start wiggling, and then you're like, I broke it because I was stupid and I should have gone slow. Um, I'm gonna clean this before we have to clean these before we can do anything else, anyways. Before we can solder them in place, at least. Just gonna get the flux off of these. So we've got 14 out of 16 pins in. I'm not about to move it to show you because I'm just not going to do that. I can take a photograph of it for you though. So you can see in the photo there, I've got 14 out of 16 pins in. Just need to solder them in place now. All right, so the 14 that we didn't break are in, but the plan now is to come back through from this side with this wire. I can hold it with my hand, solder it up to that one, and then to the board. A little bit of a crazy plan, maybe, but it should work. Okay. Well, let's pray for no smoke. Oh my goodness, we didn't take the plastic off the screen. We get to do all that over again, but we can still see if it works. That's unbelievable. Alright. Did we get a backlight? Did we get lettering? Did we get anything? We don't have a backlight, but the screen looks good. Well, that sucks. Alright. We have a problem somewhere. And it's pin 15 and 16, I think, that are responsible for the backlight. Ta-da! Look how pretty. Right around there is where we want it. Single. There we go. Look at that, guys. Nice and pretty. All right, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a quick recap for anybody who picked it up in midstream here. Um, we replaced the power supply filter capacitor. Um, it just was installed funky, and I always replace them anyway. We put a new battery in. We put a new screen in. This had a bad screen. All the text was jumbled up. You couldn't read it. Um, and that was a lot of work to find a screen that is the right size, that's compatible, that looks good, um, and and then of course all the trouble we had getting it installed, which was, you can watch previously in the video, but it was interesting. It took about 3 hours to figure it all out. So um, yeah, and then we secured a few wobbly pots. This one was pretty wobbly. This one, well, not pretty wobbly, but minorly wobbly. Um, and this thing, yeah, I'm just gonna go again and reiterate and say that I just don't think this thing got any use. I think the screen died at some point, perhaps early, and somebody put it in a closet. It doesn't have any dust. There's not even any dust or these power ports look shiny and brand new. Normally they're dulled and, just from cables pulling in and out. And I mean, it just looks brand new. It's really in fantastic shape. At any rate, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.